And one entrepreneur on the island here decided that all these tourists needed to be put up. So he built what was called the Blackgang Hotel. That is part of this building, and we shall be going up into the very top story, which is completely derelict.
Got pressure building, which means you're quite sensitive, so you will feel things.
Yeah.
Alright, have a little walk around here. That room is quite interesting as well. We'd like to go in here. We definitely have a lady up here, Maureen, so if you need to take some photographs, she is quite strong. And I also feel like she's been a bit crowded out. It's really funny because they did have a group come before, and I'm afraid the group opened something up that they shouldn't have opened up, and they've left it wide open. So before I go tonight, I'm going to close it. They opened up, I don't know if you know what a portal is, they did scrying. And what they did was they had a mirror downstairs, and it's really, really bad what they did. What they did was they put somebody in who they had no protection around them, they didn't stay with them, they put them in front of a mirror, and that person saw their face change and turn into somebody else. And that is called scrying, and you can scry in water, you can scry with mirrors. It's a very old witch way of doing things. And by not opening and closing that, it's like opening a massive door to spirit, and anything can filter through. It's almost like shining a massive big light in spirit, going, woohoo, come and have a little look. And they're going to look because they're drawn to the light, so they're going to come through and have a look. The problem is also because we've got a man who's quite constant downstairs there, and at the moment, and I do feel he bugs Deb quite a lot outside of her office, and I know that things, where is Deb? Deb's felt things change quite dramatically, haven't you? It's here, it's right in there. That is like, and I feel like if someone pressed that, I would literally just be sick of bile. Loads and loads and loads of yellow bile. And the taste on my tongue is disgusting. It's like acidic.
Stomach acid. Stomach acid.
Yeah, like but this is swollen. Do you understand that? This shouldn't be as big as it is, and it's swollen. But I feel yellowy in my skin. But I also feel I've got facial hair. All I can smell is yeast, and I've got something in there that I would carry.
I would have said that's what that is.
You would have had, and I mean, this is not just one person in here. This is like I've got loads and loads of people now. Feel really, really strong here that you've got like a timeline where somebody sees somebody do the same thing all the time, and I feel that's quite solid. People see that constantly, but you wouldn't be able to interact with that person because I feel it's like just your timeline loop, almost like we're watching a video replay, okay? But you've also got here, I feel you've got someone was left here on their own, just left. Operations where I shouldn't have done. So you performed an operation on a young girl. I've got the young girl with me, and because of this incompetence, story goes that it was in her feet. It's an absolute load of rubbish. I get anaesthetic taste here, I get blood, I get septic, so something went septic inside of her stomach. And he really doesn't want me here at all. I know I'm making you angry. Toby's now got a man, and I've got this really lovely young girl here, and she shouldn't have died. He lied and said that he was a surgeon, and he was not. He was a GP. He was a GP, and he performed operations here where he really shouldn't have done. And I want you all to kind of really take in the atmosphere here, because he'll impress upon you that he was a very good man, and that what he did was right. He was wrong. You cannot acknowledge what you did to that young girl. The young girl is still here. She is still here because of what you did. What part of the body did you operate on this young girl?
If you can see, yeah, you'll see. It's just the foot.
It wasn't the foot, and you know it wasn't the foot. Then why is her abdomen cut? Why was the abdomen cut? Explain to me why the abdomen was cut. I want to hear your side of the story. You tell me. You've got everybody here, you've got your platform. Explain to me then why her abdomen was cut. No, come and face me and talk to me. I'm here and I'm asking questions. You can put the story right. The story's out there. The story's out there that this young girl died because you operated on her foot.
Toe.
I want to ask you how many operations you performed here.
I don't think I need to explain myself to you. You've walked into my house, uninvited, now get out.
I don't want to get out. I want you to tell me why you operated when you didn't have the proper qualifications. I need to understand. I need to understand why you operated when you didn't have the proper qualifications. And you know that's the question that's going to be asked of you, and that's why you stay here.
I did the right thing.
But you didn't do the right thing because the young girl died. Does he see the young girl that's here?
This is my house.
But do you see the young girl that's here? I know this is your house. And I have respect that it's your house.
If you had respect, you wouldn't be here.
But I have respect, but I have inquisitiveness as well. If I just explain to you what's happening with Toby, Toby and I work together and we've been training, and when we came up here, I knew this man. The first night we came up here just to walk around, he's so insistent he doesn't want anybody here because he has this really big thing about him that this is his house, it was his rules and he did it his way. He honestly believes that he didn't do anything wrong, but he caused the death of a young girl because he didn't use the right tools. She got infected. When we came up here tonight, I've asked my guy to sort of push it out a little bit. When we came up here the first night, and Mark will tell you, I was heaving. I could taste the blood, I could taste pus in my belly, and you could taste anaesthetic, but the old-fashioned anaesthetic, and the whole of my tongue went numb. Because this man makes men feel incredibly angry. He can make you feel very, this is my space, get out. Do you know what I mean? Or if you're quite sensitive, you might well pick up the little girl. So how do you feel in here?
It's a sticky feeling in my throat. I don't feel anything necessarily, it's more a sticky feeling. I occasionally get this, like a smell of alcohol type smell.
Yeah, that's what they would have used before. It would have been chloroform.
Yeah.
That's which was quite alcoholic based. How do you feel up here? You don't like it up here? How do you feel up here? You feel fine? You're quite grounded, aren't you? Yeah, you are quite a grounded person. So I think you're quite in control. That's quite nice. How do you feel, Vicky, up here? You're a mummy. Do you? Yeah. How do you feel up here? Honestly.
Like real sick feeling, I think, but also downstairs.
Yeah. You're right there.
More downstairs than anything.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's
Take
not
it,
your
okay.
face.
Come on.
Take her out just for a minute. I've got all the, oh God, I want to puke. I've got all the, what do you call them, gauze? Is it like gauze? And the water's red. He couldn't stop, you couldn't stop the bleeding. You couldn't stop the bleeding. He couldn't stop the bleeding. And the lady that was with him got a bit panicky because it went wrong. And she asked him to stop. he couldn't stop, but he didn't know how to do it. The stitches that he did were massive. Stitches were this big. Stitches weren't like they are now. These were like this. And they're almost like bloody fish wire. Why the hell like fish wire? Right, you know when you stitch, it should knit together like that, yeah? When you've got a scar, it knits together and you get that lip look, don't you? Do you know what I mean? Almost like a all the way across. It didn't have that. This was still open, so you still had an open wound, because I feel like it was bathed and bathed and bathed.
So I can feel that so many people have been in here. All I can see is a bench. Is like a. It's not. It's like a wooden table.
Like a masseuse table, is it like a flat thing?
Yeah, but it's like I know what a surgical bench looks like these days, but it's not like this. It's a wooden bench and it's got a cloth draped over the top of it, and there's cupboards with stuff in it. There's like bottles. There's cupboards with bottles in there. There's drawers with bits in there. It's not very clean. It's not very clean at all. There's still blood on a lot of, I can still see blood on walls. I can, yeah. It's not very clean at all. But he's calmed down a lot now. He's not as angry as he was when we first came in. I think he saw like so many people walking in, so much energy walking through the door. He thought, no, I'm not having this. Because when we came last time, he was mad then.
Yeah, he was.
But I was sat on that windowsill shaking, absolutely shaking, But now I'm not getting. He's like, okay, do your bit and clear off.